terms of active cases and in terms of the incidence per 100,000 population. As I have often repeated, 1,000 active cases in a population of 100,000 would have a more severe situation as compared to 1,000 cases in a population of 1 million. That is how you are able to assess the severity of the case or of the disease in terms of incidence. Sometime in August. But right now, in the province of Cebu, we have 198 active cases, of which 180 or 90.9% are mild or asymptomatic, 17 are moderate, and we have 1 severe case and 0 critical. Of our recoveries, 34,397 have recovered, or a total of 2.5%. From the 37,186 cases that have been logged in a span of over a year and a half. This is the only disease that we have been keeping a cumulative total, which means that from day 1 last year up to today, we have carried over the total from 2020 and added that on to 2021. We don't do that for other diseases. Every year, there is a reset. And so if you would look up tuberculosis, dengue, or any other ailments, you would get the yearly total. For whatever reason there may be, we have chosen, or the powers that be, whoever is in charge, have chosen to get the cumulative total. Now, you will note there, as per record of the OH, there are 2,591 deaths. But as we said, this is claimed to be deaths caused by COVID. But as we said, and we have repeatedly insisted, there really needs to be a desegregation of these deaths. Those that are COVID incidental, meaning they die, they are swabbed, even some of them even after they are declared dead. And if the swab test comes up as positive, then they are automatically logged as a COVID death. We have investigated each of these deaths, looked into each of the death certificates, and have found out that from the 2,591 deaths listed as caused by COVID, only 1,279 are actually affirmed per death certificate as COVID death. 199 still has no diagnosis. 446 were actually deaths caused by pneumonia. 184 caused by heart disease. 126 by kidney disease. Sepsis, 114, cerebrovascular disease, 85, and so on and so forth. Take note, we have brain trauma due to motor vehicular accident, 7 deaths. And then, there is asphyxia. Wa na kang ginhawa. Nakalimot yung ginhawa. 2 deaths. But this is worse. Fall due to electrical injury, 1 death. There is also strangulation. That's another death listed. Blunt abdominal trauma, 1 death. Phenobarbital toxicity. It's something that you have ingested, but it's listed as COVID death. So, caustic ingestion intentional, meaning suicide na ni. So, a death by suicide is now symptom of COVID. At any rate, this is the graph that shows the weekly number of COVID cases from January 1 to January 9, which started at 117, there was a small bump. In the March 7 to March 13 week, we reached 473. Then it gradually decreased, went up to 2,772 cases in a week. This was the highest in the August 15 to 21 time period. And we are now reporting the lowest ever number of positive cases reported in 1 week, which is from October 13 to November 6, there was a total of 95 positive cases. This, again, in a population of 3,200,000. 95 positives. The next graph will show you the weekly COVID active cases. That is different from the reported positives. This is the active cases. And as you all know, active cases refer to total number of cases less those declared recovered and deaths as well. So, in the total number of active cases, from March 31st to April 3rd, we started at 105. We peaked at 5,015 in the August 15 to 21 period. And then a steady decrease. We are now down to 207 cases as of November 6. So, in a weekly graph showing the number of active cases, in the October 31 to November 6 time period, we went down to 207. But as I reported to you, today, November 8, we went down further to 198 active cases. What is the percentage of COVID-19 hospital bed occupancy? And when we speak about hospital bed occupancy, we are referring to the hospitals under the control and operation of the province of Cebu. We speak here of 4 provincial hospitals and 12 district hospitals. Let us not confuse this to the overall total that DOH logs, which includes private hospitals and others. As far as the province of Cebu is concerned, and as far as our 4 provincial hospitals and 12 district hospitals are concerned, for which we had set aside a total number of 486 intended beds for COVID patients, the occupancy stands at 12 beds for COVID, leaving an available 474 beds. What is that in terms of percentage? At 12 beds occupied out of the 486, that corresponds to 2%. What about our LGU isolation bed occupancy? All of our local government units, and I refer to our 44 municipalities and 6 component cities, have allocated in total 2,343 beds, 17 of which are presently occupied. 113 are on home quarantine. So with 17 beds occupied of the 2,343, there are still 2,326 available beds at our isolation facilities. That corresponds, the occupancy at 17 beds corresponds to 1% of the total capacity. Let us now rank the different provinces and cities in terms of active cases and in terms of the incidence per 100,000 population. As I have often repeated, 1,000 active cases in a population of 100,000 would have a more severe situation as compared to 1,000 cases in a population of 1 million. That is how you are able to assess the severity of the case or of the disease in terms of incidence.